What's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's been a while since I did a live video, so excuse my absence. It's been weeks, probably months at this point. Uh, Hi, son. So I wanted to give you guys an update. If you hear some noise in the background, that's my son. My daughter's probably gonna come up soon. So I wanted to give you guys an update on basically everything going on. Reason why I haven't been updating. I've been working on some military news. I run like a military news website. I've been trying to get, on top of being a military news website, we also try to do some lobbying. So I've been trying to get some people together to work with the Department of Defense, National Guard Bureau, things like that. Uh, so that's been taking my time a lot. Plus work. I got a job, I believe last July, and the job is probably the most busiest job that I've had yet. Um, so yeah, it's a lot. And then health issues. Um, One interesting fact today. Wednesday, I got up, not got up, it was like 8 o'clock. I was laying in my bed, I was watching YouTube. I got up to get ready for, for bed, wash up and stuff like that. And I felt like this pain in the back. I'm like, whatever, no big deal, right? I went back to sleep. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I like literally jumped. I'm like, ah! My son was like in my room, and he was just like, kind of and I'm like, this jolt of pain, like somebody took a knife and went right in, like right into my back, man. It was bad. So I try to like kind of Marine Corps through it through most of the day, and around like 2 p.m. it just kept going. So I was like, I told my boss, I'm like, listen, I have the flu, like cold or a flu. I was like, plus this, I said, I need to go get seen. Like, this is too much for me, man. So I went, I saw the doctor. She was just like, all right, I'll do an x-ray, do your analysis, but you have to go to this site, go to that site to get all this stuff done. I'm like, all right, I'll do it. And the weird thing is, as soon as I like punched out for work and I started getting in the car, the pain went away. Isn't it funny like that? I got there and I'm like, I don't feel the pain anymore, doc. I don't feel it. She's like, So, I think I was fine that day. The rest of the day, and then so today I woke up and I felt some pain in my back. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, I hope this is nothing serious. I go to work and I start feeling that stabbing pain. Now, my flu is or cold, whatever, is getting worse. Excuse me. I'm coughing. Um, this stabbing pain is just constantly doing it, and I'm like, no, I'm Marine Corps my way through it. My boss is telling me like, listen, just punch out, go for the day. I'm like, no. I was like, listen, I can do it. I can do it. I've been through worse. And they were like, this is not the Marine Corps. I was like, it's not about this being the Marine Corps. It's about proving to myself, kind of thing. And so I got through the day. I got to the end time, punched out. I laid down, and as soon as I laid down, my wife came home. We started talking, and the pain started back up again. And so I stood up, and like it started knifing me in the back. Because like after work, it started dying down a little bit, and then when my wife came home, it started again, like, and it just started getting worse and worse. It was like this, somebody like taking a knife and just stabbing me in the back, and I'm like, all right, forget it. I'm going to urgent care. So I went down there. I literally just got back. They did X-ray, the urinalysis. They were like, "You don't have kidney stones. The spinal cord's fine." They were like, "It's something with the muscle." It's like, "Are you serious? Like this massive pain is from a muscle or nerve or whatever?" I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "We can give you a shot in the rear." I was like, "All right, just stop this pain, man. Just stop it." Because I could deal with pain. I can't. I don't want to deal with the stabbing pain, like somebody stabbing me with a knife, kind of thing. I'm gonna jump back and forth to the site to see if you guys are chatting. And the doctor or nurse, whatever, came in to give the needle, right? She was like, lower your, because it was gonna go in the back, in the rear. I was like, oh man. She was like, I was like, the last time I almost got a shot in the rear was when I was in the Marine. I enlisted in the Marine Corps, went to boot camp, Paris Island, right? And you go into your battalion, not the battalion aid station, but the medical hospital and base, right? In processing, and they were like, everybody lower your whatever, right? And they were like, all right, anybody allergic to this, and that, or that? And I'm like, I'm allergic to, I forgot what I said, penicillin or whatever. And they're like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, I am. I'm like, they're like, you just don't want the shot. I'm like, I don't even know what's in this. I mean, I didn't say it to him, but I was like, I don't even know what's in this shot. I'm like, I'm allergic to this. I'm assuming that interacts with it. That's what I was thinking, but I just get my mouth shut. I'm like, no, I am. And then the Marine Corps gives you like red tags that you put in your boot, right? You looked at it, it's like, go, get out of here. I'm like, all right, awesome. And then I kid you not, for the next 2 weeks, everybody in the whole company was like sleeping face down, right? I was sleeping face up, man. Sleeping on my side, face up. It was nice. Everybody was like, ah, ah. And I was just like, feel bad for y'all. Too bad you're not allergic to whatever it was. Anyway, this time they were like, drop, and it wasn't so bad. Um, but I'm sure they gave him something else. I don't know what it was. Anyway, so that's my thing. That's what's been going on. Work. My company got bought out by another company, so there's been some scares of layoffs. Implementing tons of new IT systems, so it's just like I'm doing, like, I kid you not, we have a team of like 20. I'm doing around 20 to 30% of the tickets. And I'm like trying to get through them. Like, I hate when people are on like the help desk queue and there's like a 19-minute wait. So I'm just like, I gotta hit it, like. So I've been doing that. Uh, let's see what else. Family's been good. On iPad. Uh, Financially, things are just not good at all. Not good at all. We have a babysitter, and between the babysitter, the rent going up, prices going up, salary is not going up, fighting for it. It's really tough. Like, I'm in the red, and that's like the first time I've been in the red in a long time, and I'm trying to break out of it, trying to find like second side jobs. I'm thinking of like a side business. I don't know. Obviously, this YouTube channel is not going to work. My like videos get a couple hundred views, and I get like 30 cents out of it. So, if you could share my videos, that's great. If you could drop a couple of donations, that'd be even better. But I'm not one of those people that's gonna like ask for it. I like earning it. Um, Pain's still there. Even it's been like half hour to an hour since I shot. Pain's still there. I asked the doctor. I was like, "Hey, you got something like stronger than like Tylenol, Advil?" He's like, "No, I can't give you that. I can't give you narcotics." And I'm like, "Okay." I don't know if you guys know, but I was gonna say I was an alcoholic. I am an alcoholic, so obviously they don't want to kind of mess around with that kind of stuff. I'm not, and I even told people like I'm not a pill guy. Like if you give me, and I've had it before. I've had whatever kind of the heavier things are that was an epidemic around the country. Like I had those. I only used them to go to sleep, right? Like I didn't abuse them. I'm not one of those kind of people. Like I enjoy a nice cold IPA or a good 12-year-old, at least 8-year-old scotch. It has to be good beer. Like if you put a beer in front of me, I'm like, no, I'm not drinking that. Like, dude, it's a Budweiser. I'm like, I am not drinking that. Right? I will do that. Put a Miller Lite in front of me. I'm like, right? It has to be an IPA, really good IPA, or it has to be a good Scotch or a good whiskey. I'll take Jack Daniels, right? And Ron, if you're watching this, I will never forget, um, the day that you made me. We were all in the bar, and you ordered us whiskey. I don't, it might have been Jack Daniels, and then you put some other shot behind it. And I was like, oh, wow, 2 shots? Ronnie's treating. Whoa, this is pretty good. This is pretty sick. Um, and so I take the shot of whiskey and I'm like, and then Ronnie and everybody's like, no, 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 no. Take the other one. Take the other one. I'm like, I'm enjoying this. And they're like, no, 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 no. So I'm like, uh. They're like, what's wrong? I'm like, it's pickle juice. They're like, yeah, it's supposed to clean out your mouth. I'm like, to get the whiskey out, to get the whiskey flavor out. I'm like, I'm paying for the whiskey. I like the whiskey flavor. I'm like, why would I want to have the whiskey and then chase it up with pickle? They're like, man, because nobody wants whiskey in their mouth. Like, I do. Like, so my friends are big mixed drinkers, right? They'll mix drinks, and I'm like, no, 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 you're ruining it. And I kid you not, if you're a friend of mine watching, or we somehow meet or whatever, and we are at a bar, and you order a Macallan or a Levitt, or some really good whiskey, and you mix it with something, I'm gonna ask you to leave. I'm gonna be like, go right now. I don't want to see you ever again. Divorce. Anyway, moving on. The last couple of months has been good for games. Specifically Matrix, Slytherin. You know, the thing about Matrix and Slytherin, um, I can't say anything bad about them. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, because you're getting paid off by them. I'm not getting paid off by Slytherin or Matrix games. I would love to work for Slytherin and Matrix games, but I'm not getting paid off by these companies. They do give me redemption codes sometimes here and there. I buy some games, but they give me redemption codes for other games. I'm like, okay, whatever. I love Craft. Well done. Like Terminator Defiance, right? This game, if you look back on my videos, this is a game that if you'd have put any other publisher behind it, it would have been so bad. Slytherin got it, and I had high hopes, and they didn't falter those hopes. I played a demo of this. It's an incredible game. It's U.S. military 2024, basically against Skynet, or they call it something different. This is the last Arnold Schwarzenegger film, which is in an alternate Skynet timeline, something like that. But in essence, it's Skynet. You have these machines, the machines we're all used to, and you fight them, and it's an incredible game. To be honest, even the screenshots don't do it justice. The graphics, it's like Combat Mission meets Terminator. It's an incredible game. Incredible. I'll just leave it at that. So, and you know, like Slytherin and Matrix, the reason why I have high hopes and I have comfortability with them is because, like, they made Battlestar Galactica, Deadlock, right? Not for the first Cylon War. They didn't take the second Cylon War, which would have been like, all right, we're gonna take the second Cylon War. This is the most popular. No, they focused on the first Cylon War and said, all right, let's focus on this. Let's make it good, and they did. It's amazing. Now they can move on to the second Cylon War and make it even better because everybody, watch the series or watches the series. Um, they did Terminator Dark. They are doing Terminator Dark Fate. They did Battlestar Galactica. They are bringing on Stargate. Um, it's ridiculous. These guys are taking great IPs and doing amazing things with them. Huge props, huge props. And like other cool things that I really love that they're doing. I want to show you guys here. The paint really kind of hits you. Uh, this is something that I'm going to get into. It's called Combat Modern Operations, and there's probably a treasure trove of you guys that are fans that are watching that are big fans of Combat Mission, Combat Modern Operations. This is basically what, in essence, the U.S. military uses for, well, to kind of do simulations of what it would be like to, have a conflict with a nearby nation or, China versus US, China versus Taiwan. And as you can see, it's very real life like. If you ever see like pictures of the Pentagon and stuff like that, or Northern Command, right? Like the press photos that they release, a lot of that stuff looks like this. Like a lot of that looks like this. And I know for a fact, I saw a press release that Matrix Games and Slitherine actually work with the DoD, the Department of Defense, to develop software like this to train their officers on. Huge thing. Uh, Now, if you guys haven't heard, maybe you have, maybe you haven't. Every time I wink like that, it's the pain. Um, uh, there is there was a strategy war game made of the Chinese invasion of Taiwan, and it was in the news. CNN reported on it, DW News, BBC, I believe Sky News. Everybody talked about it. And they did like hundreds of different scenarios of like what if the Chinese had these type of units, what if the Chinese had better than regular units. They had so many different variations, and they were talking about it, and I want to play it. I want to play this type of simulation. What would happen? Ultimate military simulator. And their latest one, which is, and I have the code for it, so I'm probably going to be doing a stream of it in the next few days. Um, oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's so sick that you get this bird's eye view. Well, more than a bird's eye view. That's cool. That is very cool. So, something very interesting. I was actually talking to officer yesterday, and do you know that? Well, we all know that the U.S. military is short on soldiers, right? The U.S. Army, I think the Marines, even Navy, everybody's short on sailors and soldiers, especially at this crucial moment where China is about to invade Taiwan. Russian war with Ukraine is ongoing. The Middle Eastern conflict is erupting. Further, we're low on troops. Um, Now, there are reserve forces. There are, I don't know if you guys ever heard of state defense forces. There are out there, state guards. They're supposed to be the National Guard Reserve. They take over for the National Guard once the National Guard deploys overseas. And you also have like the Coast Guard Auxiliary. I just found out that the Coast Guard actually, because they were short on cooks, I believe. They were short on cooks, so they had a couple of Coast Guard Auxiliary. These are civilians; they're not military. Serving aboard one of their ships, and those ships went from Hawaii to New Zealand to the North Pole, and for a 6 month deployment. And it was I just found this out, and I was like, oh wow. I was like, oh, you're under the covers. I didn't even see you there. Um, I was like, I might wanna sign up, you know? I might wanna sign up. I know I might have to be doing the food and stuff like that. I don't care if I can serve my country, right, and get deployed in certain places. Only thing is being away from family for so long is, it's gonna take time, you know? So this is a really cool thing. I'm definitely going to get into command operations, command modern operations. And there's so many different variations of these games here. Um, uh, oh, my back is going. They have 25 DLCs. They have the Falklands one. That's one I want to get. Ford class. Now I was talking to a JAG officer couple days ago, and he was telling me that the Ford class is using magnetic, not catapults, magnetic launching systems. So we have F-18 here. They used to have catapults. They used to push. I mean, use steam and everything. Now they're using magnets. So I might want to get that for $3. Uh, Queen Elizabeth, Kashmir Fire. I mean, they have. Ooh, Desert Storm. Wow. These are regular prices. These are not. Now, another cool thing I gotta mention about Slytherin Matrix, and this is another reason why I love them, man. You know, um, no other publisher that I know kind of does this. You buy the game here, you get the Steam code. So you get two avenues to download the game. You can get the game here, right? Download as a physical download. And then you can also get the Steam version of it. They give you a code and you just redeem it. So you have two places you can get the game from. So it's actually smarter to get it here. Silent service, that's something I probably would want. Korean Missile Crisis. Ooh, that's something I want to play. So I think I'm gonna start off playing Command Modern Operations heavily in the next month. My back. Uh, and the reason why I think it's getting more, not more important, but more, it's intriguing me more is because, guys, this is the 1930s, right? You see regional conflicts popping up. You see the first war in Europe since World War II. You see the first Middle Eastern conflict since what, 70s, right? And it's escalating. It's opening up. China has plans to invade Taiwan, which would include the United States in 25, 26. So things could get dicey. And playing a game like this kind of gives you a feel of like the assets that we have, the assets the enemy has, what an actual conflict with these nations would look like, and it would alter our perception of these conflicts. Right now, believe it or not, the Chinese actually have a bigger navy than the U.S. Navy. That's correct. Bigger navy than the U.S. Navy. All right. So we talked about combat mission operations. Combat mission. Final Blitzkrieg and Downfall is out now. It's my son. Now this is a game that I am going to be playing in this weekend probably. And this is the final, I believe, part of the series of combat mission. You started with combat mission Normandy, and then you progress through like I think the Ardennes offensive, then Red Thunder, and this is I believe is the final one.
Mission Final Blitzkrieg is a turn-based simulation of tactical warfare where turns are resolved simultaneously. Set in the closing moments of World War II, it follows the Western Allies through the battles along Germany's border and into the heart of the Reich itself, with a focus on the American sector of the Battle of the Bulge.
Ooh,
Final Blitzkrieg features two expansive campaigns offering very different experiences. One focuses on American forces pushing into Aachen, the first major German city to fall into Allied hands. The other portrays the famous drive of Kampfgruppe deep into the American lines. The game boasts over 100 types of vehicles, dozens of small arms, heavy weapons, and various equipment, all painstakingly researched and
whoa,
highly detailed. It also includes a training camp, 25 standalone scenarios,
oh
and
wow,
multitudes of quick battle maps. Soft factors such as morale, experience,
oh
and
wow,
leadership, alongside systems
oh
portraying
wow,
fog of war, spotting,
oh
line of
wow.
sight, command and control, and weather conditions all play a
Ooh,
fundamental role in giving Final Blitzkrieg an unprecedented depth. The modeling
I gotta
system
stop it right
allows
there.
for
That
everything
was
from
beautiful right there. Do you
play a
guys see that?
fundamental role in giving weather conditions all play a fundamental role in giving Final Blitzkrieg an unprecedented depth. The modeling system allows for everything from dry sunny days to muddy stormy nights, dynamically affecting visibility and mobility.
Wow.
The game can also be played in full real time for a completely different experience. March into history with Final Blitzkrieg. Epic battles on the Western Front await you.
Wow. Okay. And this is out already. It came out on January 25th. This is a game I'm definitely going to start playing. So stay tuned this weekend. Please subscribe, like, share, donate. So this is the final, I believe, trilogy of the combat mission series here. So let's go to combat mission. Battlefront. So I believe this is the last of the Battlefront games that are moving to Steam. And huge props. See, this is again another thing why I love Slitherine and Matrix is because no other publisher said, "Hey, let's bring the combat mission games to Steam," right? And that was a big barrier from me buying these games. Like I wanted to buy Final Blitzkrieg, but I'm like, I don't want to buy it off this one site where I would lose my login, which I did more than once, I think, and lost access to games and stuff like that. And I know you can reach out to them and tell them what day you bought it, but I forgot what day I bought it. It was like years and years ago, and forgot what email I was using at the time. It's just even if I have access to that email. So there's so many things. Having it all on Steam is so much easier for me because all my games are there. And I'll be honest, I go up and down. I see combat mission. I'm like, I'm in a combat mission mood. So they went through basically everything. So Red Thunder, Fortress Italy, Battle for Normandy. I believe Shock Force is already out there. Cold War is out. Black Sea, I believe, is out. Final Blitzkrieg is out, and I believe the Soviet-Afghan War. Correct me if I'm wrong. Now, the question a lot of you guys are asking yourselves, well, what next? What's going to happen after this game comes out? Great question. So after this game comes out, after the final of Battlefront series comes out, I interviewed the developers years ago. They're already working on the third game engine. So this is the second game engine. All these games of combat mission from Cold War to Soviet, Afghan, uh, I believe runs on the version 2 engine, right? If you guys were around in the 90s and you played Combat Mission back in the 90s and you remember Combat Mission in the 90s, that was the version 1 engine. The version 3 engine takes it up way high. And I'm very intrigued because honestly, this version 2 engine, it's 2024. It still looks good. So I can only imagine what the developers behind Battlefront have in store for us. So, all right. So we talked about combat mission. And before we head off combat mission, I did miss the. Oh, it's still on sale. Okay. So combat mission Fire Blitzkrieg's 25% off. Of course, you get the Steam code with it. I believe the entire combat mission franchise is on sale. So if you guys are looking to buy the combat mission franchise, this is the time to buy it. 25% off is a deal. So Fortress Italy, that's 25% off, 25% off, 25% off, 50% off Combat Mission Battle Pack. So as you can see, there's just nothing but 50% off. 50% off Black Sea, that's a good one. I like that one. Cold War, that's a really good one. I've been playing that a while. So really great prices, 50% off. And then, like I said, you buy the game, you get it on Matrix Games, and then you get it on Steam. My buddy Yanni, he doesn't buy anything on Steam from Matrix Games. He only buys it on Matrix Games and Slytherin when it's on sale there, and then he says, I just get the code for the Steam and I have it there. I'm like, yeah, that's a smart way of doing things. So I highly recommend. This is the cream of the crop in terms of my honestly, it's my go-to for like combat, tactical combat simulations. I remember playing Combat Mission Shock Force when they came out years ago. I forgot what year it came out back. It was years and years ago. Or was it Combat Shock Force 1? I forgot which one, but I remember when these games first came out, and man, were they so wow. Um, and since then they keep wowing me. Anyway, it's 25% off. Buy it on Matrix Games. Get the Steam code. Redeem it. It's very easy to redeem a code on Steam. You literally go here, activate a product on Steam, put in a code, you're good. And last but not least, we're going to talk about Headquarters World War II. Now, I don't know anything about this game, so its release date is Q2. Let's take a look at what this is about.
Headquarters World War II.
That's the problem with Steam. Oh, I hope it's not my Wi-Fi. Wouldn't be good if it's my Wi-Fi. I doubt it's my Wi-Fi. That's weird. It says I'm connected to internet, but I'm not. Isn't that weird? Okay. Let's take a look at all right. Headquarters Steam. Let's take a look at this. I don't want the devlog. I want what the trailer is because I want to know what it's about. Devlog one headquarters. All right. The French countryside. Trucks in the vino. Oh, I see troops. And a pig. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. 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 Whoa, that was sick. Look at a building destruction. I wonder if that's real time. So, like, I wonder if these buildings, like, when this narrow begins, they're all, like, standing up, no holes. And then as you fight, the holes pop in, buildings collapses. I wonder if that is the thing. They're all devlogs. We'll have to dive into each one single-handedly. Um, I'm able to. Let me see if I'm actually still streaming. Still says I'm still streaming. Windows. I troubleshoot Windows all day, so I'm used to problems. Erin, hiya, how you doing? I've been noticing Steam's, especially even on. Oh, my back is killing me. Oh, that hurt. All right, we're gonna watch it in this.
World War II is a fast-paced, turn-based strategy game set during the Normandy landings
There we
period
go.
of
Good.
World War II. You can play as any of the three factions in the conflict: the United States, Germany, and the United Kingdom. Experience the finest details and striking visuals of the game,
Yeah, no
including
kidding.
grasslands riddled with shell craters, war-torn battlefields, and devastated cities.
Wow.
A diverse range of units is included in the game,
Oh, nice.
each carefully researched and balanced for historical accuracy and engaging gameplay. With
Oh.
infantry, towed guns, tanks, and armored vehicles, you'll have a wide array of
Oh, you get
troops
to
to
see
command,
planes in this
reflecting
game.
the complexity of
That's one thing combat mission's
forces
lacking.
in this pivotal period of history. Challenge your tactical skills with a combat system that is easy to learn but hard to master. Pay attention to terrain elevation.
Oh.
Use destroyed vehicles, fences, and large objects to your advantage as cover, and
Oh, so that answers my question. You can literally take a building that's standing, fire, and
destroy buildings to flush out your enemies.
do
Flank
that.
the enemy armored units to attack them where their armor is the weakest. Land a
Oh,
crushing hit against
wow.
their side or back armor, capitalizing on their exposed position. Don't forget to upgrade or change your units between battles, level
Whoa.
them up, and assign heroes to grant unique abilities. Each unit has a crew, and losing different members during a battle results in different penalties. For example, losing the gunner means you'll have fewer attacks.
So my question is, this game's not hex based. It looks like it's grid based, like a four square
And
grid.
losing your driver means you'll have to deal with reduced
Now, I was gonna say, oh, my son's sleeping. I was going to say that that this looked like it was a real time strategy game where you can move soldiers across the battlefield, kind of like combat mission. But now that it's like in these square hexes,
mobility. Harness your HQ skills, such as calling for artillery or aviation support, and leverage officer skills to improve your combat tactics. Ready to test your skills? Beyond the captivating campaigns, You can engage in skirmishes on 6 diverse maps or explore a multitude of user-generated maps. Creating your maps is a breeze, whether you use the straightforward random map generation tool or the more sophisticated editor tool.
Wow.
For added creativity, combine both methods. Generate a random map, then fine-tune it in the editor. But that's
Wow.
not all. Headquarters World War II supports multiplayer
Whoa.
battles for up to 4 players, offering real-time connections.
That's a big thing right there. PBEM. Now, my buddy Bob and his friend Max have been trying to play Combat Mission, and they haven't been able to get the multiplayer to work. They've tried, like, I think multiple games, none of them work properly. This is something they would be interested in.
Or the option to use Slytherin's Combat HQ system. Still not enough? Utilize the editor tool to create your own skirmish or multiplayer maps and share them with the community for endless fun. Brace yourself and join the fight.
Wow. Okay. So, like I said, my back, not good back. Okay. Um, See, it's games like this that make you go like, wow, you know, because you don't see any of the triple A publishers making things like this. They don't value art. Like this game is art. This is a passion project, right? Grand Tactician Civil War is a passion project. Combat Mission is a passion project. Like these names resonate resonate throughout decades. You have AAA publishers out there and developers that are like, yeah, here's a game. Well, it's a bad game. Yeah, I know. We got our money. Peace. Slither and Matrix are not like that. They make good games that get support, and the animations in this are insane. Look at the detail, guys. Look at that. It's just insane. Like even the barrel of the gun. Like this is how you know when developers are so passionate about a project. They'll go into the Sherman and the barrel of the gun, and instead of just say, "All right, we'll make a barrel hole. There we go. We're done." They texture it, so it's like, "All right, what would a Sherman muzzle tank gun look like after 4 years? Well, it's probably going to have these kind of ashes and these kind of marks because after so many fights." So they populate that. It's just, I mean, look at this. Paint scratches, everything. It's gorgeous. And then the building mechanic where the buildings can blow up, that's huge in my book. That's like bringing the beauty of Battlefield to the strategy game. Some of you guys are going to be like, well, it's hex based, not hex based, it's grid based. It's not a big deal. That is some incredible visuals. So the demo is out. I'm definitely going to be playing this. Um, and keeping you up. This is gonna be one of my new devlogs. This is gonna be one of my new devlogs that I'm gonna be focusing on because it's absolutely incredible. Look at that animation. Look at that insanity. So I'm assuming this is from an artillery. Look at that. Wow, that's insane. And then, the one beautiful thing about Slitherina Matrix is they put editors in their game. And why is that important? Because it gives you so much longevity to the game. Battlestar Galactica, Starship Troopers. You have so many of these games that have like these editors or quick match games. Starship Troopers has they just that's another IP that they did an incredible that they did a job with that's just making me like this is what we've been waiting for. Um, so like there's two actually Starship Troopers games. Um, There's Extermination and then there's Terror and Command. I got the code for Terror and Command, that's why it's in my library. But if I had to choose between these two, I would choose this. this is an FPS. It is a kind of cool FPS. I'm thinking about buying it because you can build, not because you could shoot bugs. That's like, okay. But it'll let you build walls, and that's probably the only thing that's alluring to me. You could build bases. That's the only thing that Starship Troopers. Um, my back is. Starship Troopers cannot do yet. You can't build bases in real time. However, they did add like a new map, new update where you could build bases um, pre-scenario. So, like for example, you can make custom bases and put your soldiers in certain places and see how it plays out, and then you can give it to other people. So, really cool stuff. And I'm pretty sure that eventually that they'll add something like that where you can do like a sandbox or you could build bases. I'm betting they're probably already working on something like that. I'm gonna also be doing another video on this because they just came out with their first DLC. This DLC is kind of crazy. It's on a fire-breathing planet. Um, there goes Steam again. You can't click on this. And then they all added 3 new challenge modes. I believe these are free. Oh, my back is killing me. I'm probably gonna have to lay down in a minute. Um, but yeah, look at the visuals on these. Amazing. But yeah, that's the one thing that I would love to see out of Starship Troopers is a sandbox mode where like your job is to take a colony or secure this part of the territory and you land with 50 troopers, a couple of engineers, and you build bases on your own. That's what I would like to see, and build bases throughout the area. So something like that I hopefully is in the works. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy this first live stream of many. Um, Let me know what you guys think, and go Knicks. And I hope my back gets better.